Hey, I'm Troye Sivan, and this is the timeline of my fashion for Vanity Fair. So this photo was taken in 2013. I look like a different person. It feels like another world or something like that. I was in kind of a weird place. I don't know if I had come out yet or not. For a really long time before I had come out to like myself and my friends and family, I was really scared to dress the way that I wanted to because I thought the fashion was like gay and I didn't want to out myself. All I wanted to do was like blend in. And so I used to try and just kind of dress as mundanely as I possibly could. Doing red carpets is still completely weird and surreal always. And the first one is like particularly strange because it feels super chaotic. You know, there's just a lot of people screaming all the time. It makes the whole thing feel very surreal and kind of like slow motion almost. I'll never forget having that moment for the first time, and I don't think it'll ever kind of become normal. If I could tell myself in that photo anything, I would say ditch the quiff, first of all. It's not cool. Second of all, just relax. Like everything is gonna be a-okay. So take a deep breath and chill out. This was 2015 at like a Capitol music event that I went to. I was already signed at this point. I was making music. I think I started to dress a little bit better and kind of allow myself to explore fashion a little bit. I was not living in LA, but I was spending a lot of time here and kind of exposed to a lot more fashion and was really kind of starting to come into my own and figure out who I was at this point. I think I would wear that shirt now. I would definitely style it differently and wear it with different pants and stuff like that. The jacket, I'm not so sure I would wear now. Unless, again, it was styled completely differently. That entire ensemble as an ensemble, I don't think so. This photo is from 2016. I'm at Music Choice. It honestly looks like a meme. This is when I was really starting to kind of like explore and let myself try things. Would I try those things again? Probably not, but it was fun to try in the first place. And I enjoy that I can see that I'm kind of like starting myself on that journey, you know? So this is me performing in 2016 at the iHeartRadio theater. Honestly, on this day, this is sort of like my uniform. Like I have a feeling that I was probably running around doing a million things. I mean, still to this day, maybe I'd style it a little differently, but my go-to is just kind of a really good pair of jeans, a nice pair of boots or Converse, and a white t-shirt, or just like, you know, any sort of nice vintage tee. And this was in 2017 at a Spotify event. This photo is starting to look like myself now. I remember feeling really good in that suit. I've realized that I really like formal wear. I feel cool in formal wear. I feel confident in formal wear. You know, over time, I've tried my very best to just let myself wear whatever I want to wear, whether that's makeup or if it's something super casual or whatever. And for me, suits is like this classic, reliable point where I know that I'm going to feel my best. I don't know, I just feel kind of just like sexy and cool. This is when I had already dyed my hair. At this particular phase, I was kind of experimenting with different tones and sort of have like grandma gray hair here, which I'm into. I still think it looks cool. But I've ended up kind of settling on a blonde. It's crazy to look back at these kind of older photos and look back now on something that feels very current and very present, and to know how different I felt within myself and kind of the journey that I've been on to get to that photo as opposed to the first one. You know, self-confidence is like a never-ending journey for me, and it's one that I am very like actively on. I'm super conscious of pushing myself further to try things I've never tried, or wear things I would have never worn, or make music that I wouldn't have made a couple of years ago. I really enjoy that process of like self-actualization. It makes me happy when I look at a photo like that. It makes me happy because I feel like that person looks like the person that I think I am. This photo is from Saturday Night Live 2018. Immediate like panic shoots into my chest anytime I see a photo or video from that night. It was easily one of the most surreal experiences of my entire life, and one that I am so grateful for. This particular look, I performed my song The Good Side. It was the second song that I had performed, and this photo looks like it was right after the performance, so I feel like I can also feel the relief and the kind of joy that I had actually done it. And then as well with stage, I'm always really conscious when dressing for the stage. I try to make sure that I'm in something that I can move really easily in, something that kind of, you know, gives my body some air. So this is a little like cut off Calvin Klein pullover thing that I really love. I love the color on it. Yeah, this is also when I first kind of started experimenting with my wet hair look. So yeah, I had wanted to perform on Saturday Night Live for as long as I can remember, basically. It was just one of those things that the moment where you get the phone call that it's like, SNL just offered you a slot. I really don't know how to describe it other than the fact that, like, literally imagine something that you've had actual dreams about, like dreams at nighttime, not just like, you know, daydreaming about it or whatever. This is something that like played on my subconscious. The SNL crew are absolutely incredible at making people feel super relaxed. I think they know that artists are like most likely freaking out in that moment and are really amazing at just kind of calming you down. And the nice thing as well is the set is a lot smaller than you think it's going to be. I just remember imagining that I was just performing for the 50 people in that room in front of me rather than God knows how many people watch it on TV. So I still don't want to think about that. For me, it's like a triumph, a personal triumph, because I used to think about how badly I wanted to do that and then ask myself the question, like, literally what would I do though? Like, how would I process those nerves? You know, some people perform better on nerves. I find that I don't. I knew that I was going to be nervous, so I didn't really know how to kind of handle that. But I think the prep of knowing this is going to be the most nervous that I'm probably ever going to be in my entire life, when those nerves hit and I was standing on the stage, I was like, oh, there's that feeling. Like, this is what I wondered what this would feel like for so long. And here I am, and it's happening, and my knees are weak, and my hands are shaking, and my mouth is dry. And I was like, completely cool with it. And like, just accepted it in that moment, because I was like, oh, this is what it's like. This is what happens when you go on SNL. So this photo is from 2018. It's what I wore to the Met Gala. The theme was Heavenly Bodies, and I'm wearing some custom Valentino. I felt amazing this night. I mean, that's another one of those nights where it's just like, you kind of can't believe that it's happening when it's happening. It was so fun, and I just felt so confident and cool. Planning a Met Gala look is like one of the funnest things that I've ever done. To be able to kind of, you know, build the look from the ground up and work with Valentino and Pier Paolo on what I wanted the silhouette to be and what I wanted the color to look like and what I wanted to do with my hair and my makeup, to kind of bring all that to life and then feel good in it, you know, and have it kind of work out was really insane. Getting the invite for the Met, honestly, all I remember was how jealous my boyfriend was. Yeah, he was really, really jealous. So the process for building the look was pulling together references, both of silhouettes that I had worn in the past that I really liked, and also pulling references from online and using the theme as kind of like a guiding force. I'm Jewish, so I had no idea what to do with this theme because it was very like, you know, Christianity based, and I didn't want to piss anyone off or just like do anything weird. I just kind of decided to loosely pull from the theme, and we ended up coming to this really, really insane kind of super sheer undershirt with a really beautiful suit. Yeah, it was like this all red look. And then I had kind of rooty blonde hair at the time that we pushed up, and we did a little like smoky eye. I love experimenting with makeup. You know, considering all of the sort of leftover internalized homophobia that I've had from when I was a little kid, all of these moments for me are kind of big personal moments of pushing through and being like, you know that conversation where you have with yourself where it's like, no, you can't pull that off. And it's like, well, wait a second, why? You know, I'm gonna try. It's always really scary, but very liberating on the other side. Also, fun story about my hair for this. The hair person came up to my room and they only had styling tools, no haircut stuff, and I desperately needed a haircut. So I was like, oh, do you want to like, you know, call someone and they can bring some haircut stuff? He was like, no, I don't think I can do that. And I was like, okay, so do you want me to run down to like CVS and pick up some scissors? And he was like, no, I can't cut your hair. The Met Gala's in like maybe an hour and a half, and I have this gross, scraggly hair. So I went downstairs to my hotel, walked into some place, got literally a $20 haircut, and then went back upstairs and he styled it, and it was all good. It was really one of the funnest nights of my life. I think the thing that surprised me so much was how nice everyone was. To the Met, you can't bring like security, you can't bring your manager, you can't bring your agent, you can't bring a friend. I think that really disarms everyone, and everyone is just kind of like, who am I gonna hang out with? Who am I gonna talk to? For that, whatever it was, 3 hours, you're in this crazy room where you're looking around and you're like, there's this person that I've watched since I was a little kid. For those 3 hours, they're not, you know, that person. They're just like somebody who wants to have dinner and hang out. I think the progression of my style has been mostly dictated by two things. An evolution of taste, which I think just comes from like exposure, you know, hanging out with new people, traveling to new places, seeing new things. That is a huge, huge part of someone's personal style, I think. For me, probably the biggest thing was a bigger sense of confidence, kind of letting go of anything that might be holding you back. I think the moment where I realized that I can do whatever I want was a really big moment. And I think that sounds crazy and it sounds kind of like egotistical or whatever, but just realizing that clothing and fashion and makeup and hair and just styling in general is personal. It's completely personal. The only person that can define your personal style is you. And I think coming to that realization is such a liberating experience and such an exciting one. You know, I think it kind of gives you more of a sense of self and a sense of, you know, where you stand in the world and who you are and what makes you you, as opposed to, you know, what makes you like everybody else.